Uh-oh. Sorry. It's the problem. It's like you go 1 foot that way and you lose the connection. Hi guys, I hope you guys can see me now. So I titled this, the problem with a positive attitude, pushing to complete the race or to become number one, right? Hey guys, welcome. I'm here by my pool. What a blessing this is. I never thought I could have a swimming pool like this. For those of you who are just coming on, I actually have been going live a lot at my other page, and I just decided, you know what, I'm hardly ever going on a live here, and I had something on my heart that I wanted to share with you while you're having your dinner or while you're preparing for your evening. I always have tended to be a pretty positive person. I'm very positive. I always kind of can see the beauty in things, and I tend to like to stick to that attitude. But recently, I've been discovering, I know this is gonna sound so strange, but there can be a downside to having a positive attitude. I don't know if you guys are following me here, but let me explain. So, my son Jared, this is how it all came to me. This summer, he was racing. He's such a good runner, right? We just discovered that he's great at track and field. And he's going into the finals to qualify for the Junior Olympics. And he made the finals, which was great, and the top 8 win a medal. And we were all so excited that he got that far. I mean, we're celebrating, we're so excited. And he loses. He loses out on the medal. He comes in 9th by 1/1000th of a second by not leaning in or whatever. And we were just talking about sort of what I call these micro shifts, when it's these little tiny things that you can do to change and to kind of get into first place, or at least to qualify. So this past weekend, it was a race at Disney, and he's now in cross country. And I'm bringing him up just as an example because I'm exactly the same way as him, or I'm working to not be that way. Actually, both Jared and I are both working on this. But he's crushing it. Like, he's going really fast, and he's working toward a new PR, personal record, because he's very new at this. And he's running and he's running and he's running, and he's in 3rd, and he's saying to himself, he tells me this after the fact, I was like so excited because I'm in 3rd. I'm like, this is great. And then all of a sudden somebody passes him and he's like, hey, I'm in 4th. That's still pretty good. That's really good, right? He's so positive because we want him to be positive, but like reach for excellence. And then a couple more people pass him, and then at the end, he's like, well, I was excited because I got in 7th. So Jared and I had this conversation about sort of this inner dialogue that sometimes it's just one little thing right in here. I have the same problem as him. I don't tend to push, like I tend to get really close to like first place or really close to the top, and then I'm like, this is so great. I mean, look, I'm living at Disney, life is great. And so the lesson, what Jared and I were talking about, is how one little thing in your mind, like good is good, right? But when it can be better, when it can be great, sometimes it's that tiny pushing and shift, and a positive attitude can sometimes work against you. You don't want to beat yourself up and be the opposite person where you're constantly like, oh my gosh, that's not good enough, even when you're always in first place, right? You want to be able to celebrate. But the problem with celebrating constantly and not saying, you know, that's great, but I can do better, right? Kind of coaching yourself to a little bit more of a push, is that you're always kind of on the edge of not quite being number one. And I want to say this to all of you guys because there's sometimes the difference between first place or the medal and not getting the medal is 1/1000th of a second. It's one little shift, micro shift in your mind to kind of push you through. And I will admit, for me, I've worked on this for a lot in the past 18 months, working really hard on it. Very successful in my own right, but it came relatively easy for me. And then it's the process in between that I always get a little confused, and I'm like, I'm good though. Look at all the great things, right? This is good. Well, what happens is that having a positive mindset is awesome, right? But the problem is that having a positive mindset is great, but when you acknowledge the fact that it's important to stretch and to push a little bit further, because no matter what you have or no matter where you are, there's always something better. There's always something that you could achieve, that you could do, that could be even better. So Jared and I, the lesson that we learned from this is that, I'm going to work really hard, because I told him that because we had to have a talk about this, because I coach him. I said, when you're running and you're in third place, push yourself a little bit harder. When you know that you can get into first place, you kind of have to want it. It can't be like you're just satisfied with third place, because think about it. You can lean across the finish line, and just having that accomplishment, knowing that you stretched a little bit further. I noticed the guy in this race that came into first place, he ran behind everybody for almost the whole race, but he was confident. He was like, hey, he's like partying down when he was running. And at the end, he just pushed and sprinted past everybody. It was because he had number one in his mind. That was his goal. And so for me, it was like, I started off in business. I love what I do in health and wellness, especially helping all of these people that are in adoption. And I really crushed it to become, one of the fastest growing businesses during that year in 2014, and did really well in 2015. And things sort of kind of dipped a little bit, and it's been a struggle mentally for me. Like what does this mean? What does this look like? Because I love my life. I'm succeeding. I'm doing well. But how about pushing a little bit harder? How about a little bit of a micro shift and sometimes it's a little bit more effort. It's like talking to one more person. It's sharing your opportunity with more people. And I've been relatively quiet, just trying to process. I tell people that I'm like a crock pot rather than a microwave. I really think about things deep and long, like long. But when I get it, it's like, things move. So I've been really thinking about this for a long time, that, success, is a process, but we can aim higher. Like Eric Worre always says, aim all the way up here, and then if you kind of, get there, it's good. But the problem with being too positive sometimes is that you get satisfied. And the problem sometimes with satisfaction is that you can't do as much as you would like. Like, I have big goals. I want to reach a lot of people and be able to share with them from my ministry, right? With help, and I want to help more people to be healthier and to be able to work from home and make more money, because we've been so successful helping people to make more money. So it's an aspect of leaning in, right? Leaning in on the race. It's an aspect of sprinting harder near the finish line. It's an aspect of not being so comfortable. I hate when people act like they're comfortable. I've stretched myself a lot in adoption and in other things, always working kind of as an entrepreneur, even when I was a musician. But the truth is that if sometimes we've got to lean in. And so I'm in the process now of building kind of like phase 2, major business for me with my health and wellness, online virtual franchise that I'm working in, and helping other people and other families to achieve the same. And I am very positive, and it's great to be positive, but there's a problem with being positive. You want to be able to be positive, but also understand it and celebrate and say, yay, I'm celebrating my accomplishments, but there's more that I can do. And so with Jared and I together, son and daughter, are working on getting a better PR, getting a better personal record. And we just wanted to share that with you, that if you're struggling with anything, that, just to lean in a little bit more, stretch a little bit more, celebrate your victories, but at the same time know that you can maybe reach and set a new goal. So that's my little talk before dinner time. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.